Now we will move toward the pre-formulation. So what the pre-formulation is? It is pre-formulation. Pre, that is refers to that of the before. Formulation, the process of designing, developing the formula for the particular kind of dosage form, whether it may be tablet, capsule, elixir, suspension, whatever it will be, emulsion, whatever it will be, right? So before directly going through the details of the pre-formulation, I just want to mention the quote by the Benjamin Franklin. What the Benjamin Franklin says, there are no slow learners. There are only slow teachers. So of course, the slow teacher, that is depending on the need of the students, right? There are fast teachers also, but if the fast teacher, they will go on talking in the fast way, they will go on teaching in a fast way, then the student, they cannot able to grasp, they cannot able to capture. So that's why it is said that there is a need to have the slow teachers, and there is a need to have the uh, there are no slow learner, but there are only the slow teacher. There is a need to have the slow teacher, and there is a need to have the fast learners. Why I am telling all those things? Because it is the demand of today's situation that you should not be slow learner. Correct? So you just have to adopt the things. Although there are slow teachers, but for your kind of information, I just want to make it clear that today no one is slow teacher, because every teacher they had adapted, every teacher they had run in a fast way, they had adapted the new technology, and they are taking effort to deliver the education, to deliver the contents, so that every student that should get benefited by the education. So when the slow teachers they are going to becoming fast, then why should not the learners? That means ultimately the students, because you are the student who had born in the digital era. You are said to be the digitally native, whereas the teachers are said to be the digitally migrant or digitally transformant. Right. So I hope I made it very clear. Uh, let's move to the another slide. There are some technical disturbances. So many technical issues are there. Hope my slides are visible to you all. So there are no slow learner, but there are only slow teachers. But again, today this sentence also became outdated. There are fast teachers, at the same time we need to have the fast learners also. So during this today's lecture onto the pre-formulation, what we will going to study, what will be the learning outcome, what is expected from the student after going through this particular slides and the lecture. Upon completion of this particular lecture or this particular module, you will be able to understand the basic concept of pre-formulation. That means what is the pre-formulation, what is its definition, what is it need, why it is important, what is its significance. So that all covers that of the basic needs. Need of pre-formulation in drug formulation and the development. How the study of pre-formulation that is responsible for ultimately making and taking the decision of the formulation in terms of the dosage form. Various components of the pre-formulation studies. Then we will go through all these. What are the different factors, physical factors, chemical factors. Effect of crystal and amorphous form on drug formulation, how they will affect, and the characterization of the crystal form. There are various analytical techniques through which we can go for characterizing the properties of the particular crystal form or any kind of the excipients or the API which are used in case of designing and developing the dosage form. Our lesson plan that will move through the concept of pre-formulation, need of pre-formulation, introduction to pre-formulation process, amorphous form, crystal form, habits, effect of crystallinity on the drug delivery or formulation, and last but not the least, it is the characterization. Now, before directly going to the pharmaceutical aspects of the pre-formulation, we'll just go through the my favorite area in case of home, that is the kitchen, right? So in case of kitchen also, we are going for formulating. So formulation, that is not something different. It is already available in our day-to-day life. What the preparations we are doing in the kitchen, what the recipes we are doing, all these are nothing but the forms the part of the formulation only. And in the same way, the same concept, the same processes are applicable to that of the pharmaceutical industries in case of the pharmaceutical dosage forms. Yeah, just we want to know that when we are going for preparation of any kind of vegetable, which is said to be the green vegetable, in that particularly we are not going to be adding the turmeric. What is the particular reason why we are not adding the turmeric into this, when the turmeric that will form the most important component of our kitchen? There might be some reason because of the already green color of this vegetable. There is no need to add the turmeric, because turmeric we are using in case of kitchen as a coloring agent to impart the color. The next thing is that why particularly we are not going for cooking the pumpkin in case of the pressure cooker. Again, the pressure cooker that will form the most important utensil, most important if we talk in the language of the industry and equipment, right? So we are using this pressure cooker for the process of cooking of the rice, for the process of cooking of the pulses. But when we want to go for cooking of a particular pumpkin, at that time we are not going for choosing or using the pressure cooker. There might be some reason, isn't it? Because of the temperature that is too much high, and if you go on cooking the pumpkin into that one, it became very, 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 very soft. So that is not acceptable. That is not what to say, that delicious to eat, or its nature, its texture that will goes on changing, which is not acceptable, or which is not desired, or which is not required. So that is the reason that particularly why pumpkin is not cooked in case of the pressure cooker. Whenever we are going for preparation of the chapatis, isn't it? In Marathi, we used to call it as a podi, right? Or few people they used to call it as a rotis. So particularly why we are not going for adding the oils into that of the chapatis. We are just giving a soft touch of the oil to that of the chapatis. But if we will compare the another recipe, that is the pudis or the puris, so in that we used to add the oil during the process of preparation of these recipes of these food materials. The basic reason as far as addition of all these, or for not adding the particular thing, or for adopting the particular way, or for not adopting the particular way, or the one which is applicable to one, the same may not be applicable to that. This ultimately depends on to the product that we want to prepare, that in which we are interested. As I said that green vegetable, they are already in green. There is no need to give color to that one. In case of chapatis, there is no need to add the oil, whereas in case of the puris, it is necessary to add the oils. So ultimately, what is our requirement? Based on that, we are going on choosing, selecting, using the different components, the different ingredients, the different excipients and additives in terms of pharmaceutical language. So ultimately, it will depends on to the nature, it will depends on to the properties, it will depends on to the qualities, it will depends on to the ingredients, it will depends on to its effectiveness and the desired characteristics that are needed ultimately into the final product. So with this, moving to the drug formulation development. In case of pharmaceutical sciences, same holds true. That is the knowledge of pre-formulation. Just before the process of formulating a drug or active pharmaceutical ingredient that is abbreviated as API, capital A, capital P, capital I, into a dosage form. So what the API is, basically API is nothing but the drug. Yes, what the drug is, drug, any kind of substance which is used for the process of alleviating, mitigation, curing, treatment of any kind of disease or disorder. So that drug is properly called as API, active pharmaceutical ingredient. What this API is? API or drug, it is a chemical entity which is having affinity. Affinity, the attraction. Affinity, the force getting attracted toward the receptors. Affinity to the receptors, and with a positive or negative or nil intrinsic activity. Positive, the desired, the therapeutic activity. Negative, side effect, adverse effects, that drug interaction that we don't want, for which the drug is intended. Nil intrinsic action, most of the time the actual activity of the drug that will get neutralized when it will bind with that of the particular receptor. So these what the receptors and all that you might have uh, studied in a better way in case of the pharmacology, right? But what is important here for us is the definition of the API. So this is the definition of the API. That is the API or drug is a chemical entity with affinity to the receptors and with positive or negative or nil intrinsic activity. The verbatim definition you should recite, you should enchant, so that the same definition you can write wherever it has been asked. Now, when particularly the pre-formulation study is required, has to be performed, particularly the time which is required for the pre-formulation study. It is just after the process of preclinical and clinical trial, that is the animal and the human trials. After that, the pre-formulation study has to be carried out just before the process of formulation and development. So particularly pre-formulation, it is the stage between the preclinical, clinical trial and the formulation and the development. This is the first reason, or this is the first situation or the time when we are going for doing the pre-formulation study. The second reason or the second case in which the pre-formulation study is required, that is in case of developing a new dosage form of an existing API. Let us say, for example, paracetamol that is available into the tablet form. But suppose if the need arises that we have to develop, we have to design, we have to formulate a particular dosage form that is to be applied onto the skin, right? So onto the skin, we have to go for thinking from the derma point of view, right? So when we want to shift from tablet to that of the dermal preparations, that means we are going about shifting to that of the new dosage form. So in that case, it is very necessary to study the pre-formulation aspects. in case of an API. The third case, when the API requires the pre-formulation study, when it is never administered in a raw chemical form, because API, the quantity is very, very small, it is bitter in taste, and such APIs that cannot be given, that cannot be administered directly as such. So in order to mask, in order to get the acceptable properties, there is a need to add the excipients, additives, and when the excipients and additives are added, at that time it is very necessary to study, is there any kind of interaction with these excipients so that the properties of the API or the drug that will get affected. So in such a case, there is a need to go for study. So what are the different levels, timings, and the cases in which the pre-formulation study is required? First, after the preclinical and clinical trial, just before the process of development of the formulation and development. Second case, in case of developing a new dosage form of an existing API. And the third, API is never administered in case of the raw chemical form. So these are the three cases where we require the study of these. And last but not the least, as I already told, that excipient, they will get combined with that of the drug in order to form the dosage form, so that any kind of interaction should not occur between the drug and the excipient. So that is the reason. So these four are the reasons. Again, we'll be having one more reason, like say in the form of development of the tablets, capsule, emulsion, and the suspension, based on the type of dosage form, whether it is liquid, oral, or semi-solid. Based on that, there is a need to go for the pre-formulation studies. So while doing the pre-formulation study, we have to give concern, we have to focus onto several aspects. So what are these aspects, what are these points which are to be carefully analyzed during the process of pre-formulation? So that is the focus of pre-formulation: high degree of uniformity in physical characteristics, for example, say the weight, content, hardness, and the drug release pattern. So whatever the excipients, APIs that we are using, they should have their focus during the process of free formulation onto the uniformity aspects. Then the physiological availability. We are administering the drug. How much amount of drug that is going to be available in case of our body? That is the physiological availability and the bioavailability. That is actual appearance of the drug in case of the blood. That is rate and extent of availability of the drug. The therapeutic quality. So whether the drug that is giving the desired therapeutic effects or not. So again, that will going to be analyzed. That will going to be confirmed through the pre-formulation studies. This is the definition for the pre-formulation that you need to write. What the pre-formulation are? Pre-formulation, these are all kinds of activities. What these are? These are the activities. Activities of what? Activities of characterization, activities of decision making, activities of determination of what? Physico-chemical properties, right? Say for example, particle size, say for example, crystal size, say for example, polymorphism, say for example, pKa, say for example, dissolution, disintegration, say for example, oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis, isomerization, racemization. So all these are the different physico-chemical properties. These has to be studied of the drug under study, which are important to develop and stable, effective, and safe dosage form. Note these three important words when you are going for studying the definition of the pre-formulation, right? The dosage form which we are preparing, that dosage form should be safe to administer. That dosage form should be effective after administration. That dosage form should be stable over a long period of time. So how you will define pre-formulation? Pre-formulation, these are all the activities of characterization of physicochemical properties of the drug under study which are important to develop a stable, effective and safe dosage form. The verbatim definition, it has to be mug up, it has to be enchanted, it has to be recited, and it has to be written as such whenever it has been asked. That is the pre-formulation definition. As I told you that the concern is onto the stability, the concern is onto the effectiveness, the concern is onto the safety. Now, during the process of pre-formulation, we are going to be facing so many challenges. So what are the challenges? The first challenge is as far as the amount of API that is available. API availability is very small. Let's say for example the digoxin, or let us say for example the enalapril. These are such a drugs that which are administered, which are given in a very small amount. These are the potent drugs. These are the drugs which will be having the low therapeutic index. These are the drugs which will be having the low margin of safety. So that is the first challenge while studying the pre-formulation. That is the very small amount of API that is available. An initial stage of drug discovery, we have only a very tiny amount of API available, sometimes in few milligrams, and that too not into the purest form, that is into the impure form. So whatever the study that we are doing onto the impure API, as such we cannot apply, as such it is not applicable to that of the purest form of the API. So there is a need to have availability of purest active pharmaceutical ingredient. Only preliminary data like melting point, spectral data and structure is available. Whenever the drug that will come through the drug discovery processes, drug discovery processes is not associated with the whole total information of the drug. It will give only certain few kinds of information. And with this few information, like say the melting point spectral data, we cannot correlate its applicability, its usefulness in designing and developing the dosage form. So there is no need to go for performing more studies, and these studies has to be carried out in case of the pre-formulation process. What are the different properties that we used to study in case of the pre-formulation? So we have to go through the physical properties, like say the physical form, crystal and amorphous. We have to go for studying the polymorphism characteristics. We have to go for studying the particle size. We have to go for studying the shape. We have to go for studying the flow properties, solubility profile, pKa, pH, partition, coefficient. All these are the physical properties. And the chemical properties are hydrolysis, oxidation, reduction, racemization, and polymerization.